is our guest and family member Heather Thurgood seated and ready in the big chair?
He is in the big chair.
Heather, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I told Perez I'm going to have to get him to take a photo of me in the big chair. This will never happen again.
Well, could. It's very possible. But you look good there, and
well,
I thank you for joining us. All right. It is May is Huntington Disease Awareness Month, and for folks who don't know this, and while you, I think it's important to know how you became attached to this and advocate.
Huntington's disease is described as having ALS, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's all at the same time. It's terminal. There's no cure. There's no treatment. They can treat some of the symptoms, but they can't. That's all they can do. And my husband Nathan was diagnosed April 15th of 2016. And for the first 6 months to a year, we kind of kept it to ourselves on, family and friends knew. But we started advocating then, even though we weren't saying why. Yeah. We were just saying someone close to us discovered they had the disease. And then we decided that we were comfortable enough to tell our story. And we firmly believe in telling your story to raise awareness. I kind of, when I first started, I started sending out like emails and stuff. With awareness comes research. With research comes hope for a treatment or a cure. And so from that point on, Nathan and I both have been big on just telling our story, because Huntington's was such a hush-hush type of disease that no one really talked about it. So if it takes, someone like us to step up and say, hey, here we are, and we've, this disease affects, hundreds of families. I think the HDSA has that there are approximately 41,000 symptomatic Americans, 200,000 at risk.
Wow.
In Mississippi, there are probably approximately 200 families dealing with Huntington's, ours being one of them. But when you stop and think, 200 families doesn't sound like a lot, but, well, how many people do you have in a family?
Yeah, family and friends, it does affect a lot of people. Exactly.
And, we're not just a family of four. We've got brothers and sisters and, aunts, uncles, moms, dads, stuff like that.
So, and I know you're following this, are we making some advancements on this?
There are quite a few clinical trials going on right now, and there's a lot of hope in the community. Unfortunately for people like my husband, Nathan, a lot of these clinical trials are really geared towards people who are just showing signs and symptoms, who are barely symptomatic. But that does bring us hope that a child of a Huntington's patient has a 50-50 chance of inheriting the disease. And so that means my son and my stepdaughter each have a 50% chance of inheriting their dad's Huntington's. And the clinical trials, as Nathan puts it, it may not help me, but it might help the kids.
Yeah.
And so that's we hope and pray that there's something that will help Nathan and that we get it before it's too late. But if nothing else, we at least feel like whatever comes will help our kids.
Well, we've seen this over so many different diseases that once you start drawing attention to that, it puts it on a fast track, and God bless you for what you're doing. The inaugural Mississippi Team Hope Walk, it's in 2 weeks. Tell me about that. Where is it, and when does it happen? Who's going to be there? All that.
Well, it's at Lakeshore Park in Brandon at 9 a.m., and we're hoping a lot of people come. Right now, I think we've got about, at the last report I got, we had about 25 walkers already signed up, and many others who are planning on coming that day. And the way we look at it, the more the merrier. This being the first one, we're taking things kind of easy. We will have a raffle day of. And I just want to say a quick thank you to our SuperTalk family, because SuperTalk is a in-kind platinum sponsor. And, SuperTalk has, ever since Nathan got diagnosed, ever since SuperTalk took our little piece of the state on, we were welcomed with open arms. And our SuperTalk family has been phenomenal. If we've needed something, you guys have been there, not just not just the whole company, but even my guys in the office. They give me grief, but at the end of the day, Robert Byrd, Ben Sills, and Randy Bullock, and Dave Hughes and William Byrd. I'll throw those two in too, those two yahoos. But
great family. There.
Great family, and
in every section of the state is. I'm telling you, if we had, like they do on a national basis, great companies to work for in Mississippi, if we would be number one or two constantly in the state. We are so lucky.
Yes, definitely.
All right, now, you got this on the website so somebody can register for this?
Yes, if they can go to hdsa.org/THWMS, and that stands for Team Hope Walk Mississippi. And you can join a walk. You can create your own walk. You can just donate. Doesn't matter. We are, we're just thrilled to have, even if it's $1, we're thrilled to have that, because what the money from these walks helps to do is it funds on HDSA to help our centers of excellence, which we have one at UMMC. Dr. Jubin Wong and his staff are phenomenal. And so it also funds education days. It funds materials for those education days. It funds support groups. If you can't find a support group, they have online support groups. As a matter of fact, right after Nathan got diagnosed, someone with HDSA, we were asked if we wanted to talk to anyone. And at that time, Nathan and I didn't know anyone that was like us. We felt really alone. So they actually had someone call me and just kind of, talk me through, this is what you can expect. This is, things you need to think of. And it was really helpful in me being able to be proactive about what's coming and what we need to have in place.
The medication itself, the advancement, we talked about the technology, but the medicines just to deal with it in its present form, has that evolved?
Yes, and it's continuing to evolve. Unfortunately, though, these medications are highly expensive, but they are evolving, and we're thankful for that.
I wouldn't even want to see what the prices are. That's scare the hell out of you. Can you hang on for a second?
Sure.
Since you're in the big chair, I hate to keep you for just one segment. We'll talk more about this one. I mean, it's the big chair. Come on.
Right?
I don't think Robert's been in the big chair. I just thought about that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Perez, do you think Robert's been in the big chair?
No, I don't believe he has.
Well, see,
all right, I've got something over him now.
That's exactly right. Before we conclude this, we have several people asking about the disease itself, Huntington's. What is it, and what are the symptoms? And I think they would like to know that.
Okay, so Huntington's is like having ALS, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's all at the same time. And symptoms come about differently for everyone. Usually it starts with movement. There's movement issues, there's cognitive issues. As a matter of fact, one of our biggest concerns is people misconstruing that a Huntington's patient is intoxicated because their movements end up being a lot like that. And I have a tendency to, if we're coming into a room, because Nathan's getting to the point now in public we are using a wheelchair. At home he still kind of walks, but he holds onto the wall, or one of us helps him wherever he wants to go. But that's visible. Before it was more of an invisible. If you didn't know, people would just assume that he's intoxicated. So
Yeah.
when we walked into a room, if he stumbled, I just went ahead and got the elephant out of the way and would go, oh, excuse us, sorry, he has Huntington's. It's like having ALS, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's all at the same time. But I'm kind of in your face about things like that anyway. But with Nathan, it began by dropping, he was a diesel mechanic before he had to stop working. And he started dropping, extremely expensive parts. And then he went to work for a company. They were a great company, but they have decals on the sides of their trucks. Hi, I'm from Arizona. Hi, I'm from Mississippi, and that kind of thing. It was a moving company type thing. And he was actually hired to put these decals on these trucks. And after about the second or third one that he messed up, they actually had to modify his job because of the dropping the parts, his cognitive. Like right now, if Nathan were here, it would take him a little bit to register what you're saying, depending on what's being talked about and everything. So the cognitive is a big thing. A lot of Huntington's patients lose their personality. Thankfully, thank God, Nathan has kept his personality. He is just the sweetest, kindest, most giving, loving person, and that's not changed. A lot of Huntington's patients, their personalities will change and they'll become, extremely mean. The nicest person that you've ever met will suddenly become the most ugly in personality, ugly in what they say, and it's not them, it's the disease. Essentially, Huntington's, the brain is being eaten away. Everyone has the Huntington protein. You have it, I have it, Nathan has it. It's just in cases of people like Nathan, if you have 29 or below repeats in the CAG portion of your DNA, you'll never deal with Huntington's. 30 to 39 is a gray area, and 40 and above, you will have Huntington's at some point in your life. And the higher, we call it CAG, the higher your CAG, the earlier in life you will experience it. There is such a thing as juvenile Huntington's. As a matter of fact, UMMC and UAB, but we see both the doctors we see Victor Sung at UAB and Jubin Wang here at UMMC. And they were partnering so UMMC could be on the road to becoming a center of excellence in Huntington's. And so they asked us, since we were a mutual patient, to come. And Dr. Sung is, in his presentation, he starts talking about a child who was diagnosed at 3 and died by age 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that really hit home for us because our son was 3 at the time.
Is Dr. Hahn going to be at that Brandon event?
Yes, he will be there. He will be there, and he will be speaking.
So if anybody has any other questions, that's a good time to see him.
Right, definitely. And if you are dealing with Huntington's, Dr. Wong is just absolutely phenomenal. I can't say enough wonderful things about him and Dr. Sung. If your heart is in research like ours was, and Dr. Wong knew that, so he put us in touch with UAB, and they do the research there. But we've been really lucky. I say this all the time. We've been lucky in our journey on the medical route because so many people are not that, they don't fall into line with, unless they know someone already. If you're newly diagnosed and you end up being matched with a neurologist that doesn't have a clue about Huntington's. I mean, there have been times we've met with neurologists for other things. Like Nathan had, he couldn't go for one rare disease. He had to go for 2, so he's got a blood clotting issue too. And when he was in the hospital for that, they sent a neurologist to talk to us, and we told the neurologist more about Huntington's than the neurologist could say to us. So we, a lot of Huntington's patients run into that too. One of the ladies in our support group, I'm sorry. I have a tendency to talk a lot. I don't know if you know this about me.
No, the first thing I understood, I could see how you could get up to a doctor and inform them because you've become an expert in that disease. Yeah. So God bless you. So it's been tremendous. What we've learned from just you in the last few minutes. All right, so one more time before the time runs out here.
Okay.
One more time, when is this going to be? And give me the specs on it.
It's called the Mississippi Team Hope Walk. It's on Saturday, May 21st, 9 a.m., Lakeshore Park in Brandon. If you'd like to join a team, I highly recommend Willamette Warriors. That's our team. Create your own team or just donate. You could go there or hdsa.org/THWMS, Team Hope Walk, Mississippi.
It's all on the website, right?
All on the website, and I believe that it's on our SuperTalk stuff as well on social media there.
Yeah.
But also, just show up day of. If you feel like you're not computer inclined, we'll be more than happy to give you information and take your money and put it such a good.
Is that GPSable at the in Brandon?
Yes, it's 1112 North Shore Parkway.
Is that on the website too?
I believe it is.
Okay.
I know it's on the HDSA website. I'll have to get with Cammie about the social media stuff.
Heather Thurgood, for people who don't know, is the office manager for our SuperTalk station in Pike County and over all of Southwest Mississippi, and also the traffic manager. That's a godsend in itself. A traffic manager has to be a saint and a sinner at the same time. Oh man, just a prison guard for sometimes.
As long as she doesn't run off with a 6'9" guy.
Well, that's such an accurate statement. My guys get so upset with me sometimes when I'm like, nope, it's done. Or if you want that on the air, you got to get to me now.
Yeah, because they'll rush in the last minute. Come on, and then they try to sweet talk. That doesn't work. It's already done. And
I feel like
God forbid, God forbid because you got other people who will come up to you or call you on the phone and let me talk to whoever's in charge of the Gallo Show. That guy said something this morning, and I know you never get calls like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I direct them to Perez. He loves me so.
Oh, my God.
Perez shelves them. He doesn't say anything, so there you go. Heather, it's been a tremendous visit. I thank you so very, very much. Good luck on that, okay?
Thank you so much.
Would you do me a favor when the event comes up, just give me a shout-out or something, let us know so we can give folks an update reminder?
Sure. Thank you.
We'll do it. God bless you. Good luck to you and your husband.